Hi, my name is Manpreet Babra. I work in the Advanced Technology Group, which is a part of Betfair Engineering. And today I'm going to be talking about the Simple Soccer application. The main objectives with this when we first started was to create an interface which football fans could use, so we'd want to display football related information and statistics, as well as providing a place where they could come in and they could place bets on different football matches in a very quick way. So instead of having to search for the football matches, it would all be in one place for them. We're also interested in the idea of whether odds are important, whether users would actually need to see the odds before they wanted to place a bet or not. Technology-wise, we wanted to use Microsoft Silverlight, which is, I guess, Microsoft's alternative to Flash. It's supposed to enable rich applications within the web browser. We also wanted to explore the service-oriented architecture a bit more. That had been used in previous projects such as Race Card Accumulator. We wanted to explore the REST interface that had been exposed on that recently. So I'm going to give a demonstration of the Simple Soccer app right now. This is the Simple Soccer application, and when most people see it they think it's quite graphical. We've tried to cut down as much of the text and numbers as possible to make it as simple as we can. We display the next couple of fixture dates for the Premiership, and for each market it's back only, so we have no concept of lay. There's limited stakes, so you can only bet 2, 5, 10, 30 or 50 pounds. We also don't directly display the odds, but we try to convey this visually with the odds bar. So for example, with Manchester United versus Manchester City, you can see that Manchester United's bar is quite full, indicating that they're the favourite for this game, with the draw being second most likely. To make this a more football-friendly interface, we've done a few things. Firstly, we display team kits, and we also display nicknames for the teams. So for example, Arsenal will be displayed as the Gunners. So if you hover over the eyes next to some of the fixtures, it brings up a little box, and in there it displays the last 5 results for each team and showing how many they've won, lost or drawn. Below that you can see some opinions by commentators on which teams you should be betting for and reasons why. We've also added Victor the Predictor into the interface, and he'll be displayed. You'll be able to see his head appear next to some of the fixtures, and he'll be displayed when his opinion differs from the current market position. So for example, for Arsenal versus Blackburn, if Victor thought that Arsenal weren't going to win, then he'd be displayed next to his favourite for the market. And hopefully users might use that to make them some money. So we're using Silverlight, and one of the things Silverlight gives us is vector graphics. So this interface should scale quite nicely from a mobile device to a giant plasma screen. We also have animations, so when we hover over the teams, we get nice movements and highlights. Also hovering over some of these logos at the bottom, we get some nice transition and animation effects. So I'm going to place a bet. I think Manchester United will win, so I'll click on them, and I also think that Arsenal will beat Blackburn. I'm going to choose a stake of £2, which is already selected, and then I just click place bets, and by the way, it shows up there that I could win £5.34 if both of those teams win. So I click place bets, it just shows me the rules and regulations and confirming who I've picked. Then I click submit, and then I get the bet result saying that all of those bets have been placed successfully, and that's it. So within a couple of clicks and logging in, of course, I can place multiple bets on multiple fixtures all at once. So in conclusion, technology-wise, Silverlight was quite nice, especially since both of the developers working on this had used Windows Presentation Foundation before. So it's quite easy to move from that to Silverlight. But Silverlight, when put next to Flash or something like that is lacking a little bit in terms of controls. But we're very much looking forward to Silverlight 2.0, which should provide a lot more functionality available to us. And also we'll be able to program in any .NET language, which will be very nice. Using service-oriented architecture for the middle tier, that helps speed up development. We had a REST interface, and a lot of the calls available to us meant that we didn't have to use as many calls as we normally would, and it was quite fast. So whilst developing the application, we found a few things for the REST interface for our service-oriented architecture which could be refined, and those are being done. So wins in both areas, really. In terms of the interface, a lot of people have found it very easy to use. They don't need to search for markets anymore. They have one interface where they can come in, choose who they think is going to win, and then place their bets simply. In terms of whether odds are important, it's hard to say. It's still early days, and this application has only been out for a while. But we think that this application is intended for a certain type of user, a user who wants to come in quickly, place their bets, they know who they want to bet on. It's not a typical Betfair user who's very data-driven. So we'll have to see, we'll have to wait and see. So future work for the Simple Soccer application. Firstly, we'd like to display more information in the same view without making it too complicated, so displaying your profit and loss and things like that. Also a way of managing your current position, because at the moment you come in and you place your bets and that's it. There's no more feedback. We'd like to be able to have this as a one-shop application, so you can come in, see your past bets that you've placed on any of these markets and being able to manage your position. We'd also like to see whether this interface could be applied to other sports such as tennis, rugby, as well as different styles of matches, so tournaments, leagues, things like that. And finally, we'd like to see how well this could be applied to touchscreen devices such as the iPod Touch and Microsoft Surface Table. Because being so graphical, most people tend to want to touch the interface to select their teams. So I'd be interested to explore that a bit more. So thank you very much.